So here's a quick video for you on using EXTJS MVC to control multiple windows or views with the same store and having multiple instances of the same views with the same controllers. So two types of views, it's going to be two controllers. Okay, and then so we're selecting items in one view, and that selection is getting updated in all the other windows that have the same store. Okay, same down here. Okay, so here's app.js. Not doing anything fancy here. We got one store and a few controllers. Okay, it's basic store. It's got some fake data put in there, value and category. And it's based off a very simple model with a category and an int value. Okay, we got a simple viewport with a toolbar, a couple buttons. Here is the grid view window. Okay, nothing too fancy. Got a grid view. It's using store 1. It's got the right columns. And we're using the row selection model with simple selection, which lets you select multiple ones just by clicking them. Okay, here's the chart. It's inside a window. It's also using store 1. We've got highlight set to true, which lets you do the highlighting. Okay, the left axis is category. And the bottom axis is a numeric category, or numeric axis with a value field from the store. Okay, and the series, it's a bar series. And this seems to be a little bit backwards, but it's the X is the category and Y is the value. Okay, that's your chart. The controllers, viewport controller, it controls anything with a X-type viewport, and then it finds its toolbar child in the view1 button. Okay, by item ID. And that creates a new view1 widget. Okay, so I set the alias to widget.view1, and then I show it, and the chart1 button creates a new chart1 and shows it. In the view1 controller, I'm using the views array just to load the right view file. Okay, but I'm not instantiating it. Instantiating it elsewhere. Using control to find anything with X-type view1. Okay, and then it finds its grid, and then it looks at or listens for the selection change event on the grid. Okay, which then fires a selection change event on the grid store. Okay, so that event does not exist by default in EXTJS, but you can fire any events you want. And I'm passing in the selection model and an object which basically passes the selected records in as well. And after the grid is rendered, I tell its store to listen for the selection change event and then call this method here, which is down here. Okay, so if I select something in the grid, it's going to fire the store selection change, which goes through here. I'm going to find all of the X-type view1 grids, get their selection model, make sure that the selection model is not the same as the one I just selected, so ignore kind of any self-selections, and then pause events, and then do the same selection as the other view has, and resume events. Okay, on the chart, same deal. I'm not listening for chart selections right now, but so after render, get the chart store, listen to its selection change, and if it's called, call this method, which is here. Okay, so this passes in the selection model and then the selected records in the args parameter. Okay, and then I just grab all the selected argument category names, find all of the chart1 X-type charts, loop through all of them, and then grab their series, make sure series highlighting is on, unhighlight any of the previously highlighted items, loop through all of the series items, and if the name of the series item store item is the same as whatever's in the array passed in, then it's going to highlight it. Okay, so back to here. I select an item here that fires its store selection change event. This window has the same store. It's listening for the selection change event, and then it copies the selected record numbers, or it selects the same records as whatever were selected here. Okay, the store for the chart is the same store instance as in the grid. When I select a row or a record, it fires the selection change event, which the store is listening to, and it loops through the selected categories, highlighting them. Okay, and this code will be available on YouTube/GitHub. Thanks.